Hello everybody. So I bring to you today's love letters. Today's love letters is on transparency. Transparency is shedding the final veil of the illusion. To be transparent is to not only to be honest, but to be totally seen. Not just seen as as a physical being, but seen in the truth of your own self-love. Loving yourself. To be transparent is to be fully and totally in love with yourself, understanding yourself to be that which is your higher self, your consciousness, your soul, the infinite, boundless, and timeless, beautiful, and radiant being of light that you are. So this is to not put on a show to please another, nor to hide or express your feelings. So self-love is yes, it's not about conforming to get others to love you, and basing that on the way that you conform to make others happy. So transparency is about being able to be in your fullness and totally not to repress or to stand out to get something. To be transparent is to be able to be really comfortable with being able to sit quietly or meant to be outrageous and to just be full of joy and fun. And that might oppose what you were in the past. You may have been in your past before this pathway of waking up. You may have been really quiet and timid, and that is actually how you grew up to conform to keep yourself safe, so that you were loved and acknowledged and appreciated, and now you're waking up to the aspect of yourself that is like it's innocence, it's joy. Usually if you've been repressed and you're shy and timid and introverted, then that may be because when you were joyful or playful when you were younger, you may have been told to sit down and behave yourself, or you could have been the youngest or the oldest and seen your other siblings getting in trouble for showing up and being playful, and then you learn the pattern of, if I keep quiet and keep and hide, so to speak, and stay quiet, then I will be loved. So the turnaround for those that are introverted is to be able to, waking up to that aspect of yourself and really reclaiming that and loving that and really jumping back into that innocent child and being playful and not so much outspoken, but and again, that's actually what is and does occur when you're waking up to the true nature of your being and stepping into self-love, that love of the self, the soul, the radiance, that joyful innocence. And the same goes if you've been someone that is really out there, really noisy, really extrovert, and you show up a particular way to get because if you perform and show up, you'll get approval. So there can be this turnaround, and there is you have your own conditioning is that you have to perform to get approved of and get loved. So what transparency is about is for that aspect of yourself that has to keep on performing to succeed, that drive to succeed, that really just wants to I just wish I could rest. I wish I could just take some time out and just having to stop perform all the time, and really turning the extrovert, the outward energy inward, and to then be able to move into that place of softening and inner quietness and inner being. So transparency is about that, being able to be totally, fully, wholly, and completely who you are in every moment. You know, the quiet, beautiful, peaceful being, or the joyful, innocent, playful being. But also just noticing where is it that your patterns are on one or the other. So full and total transparency is full and total self-love. No hiding, no lying, no falseness, no conforming, no manipulating, no expectations of yourself or others. This is about letting yourself be in your full transparency and self-love, and just allowing everyone else to just be in their own to be transparent. Let everyone else just be who they are. To love your own transparency is to allow the transparency of others. And to you know, you might know that you have a friend or a family member that normally are quiet, and you might want to encourage them to be more playful and joyful, and you know, to come out of their shell. Or you might have a friend or family member that are the same. You see that they're performers and they're loud and they're extroverted, and you might invite them to just sit in quietness for a little while and go inward. You know, so we can really help other people to be in their own, to the transparency, meaning to be in that place of total vulnerability and true honesty. And that means to be true to the self. So transparency is self-honesty. It requires vulnerability, openness, and the strength of the true heart. As you can see, these are love letters. Vulnerability. Vulnerability is to be vulnerable means to have the courage to be exposed to the possibility of being judged and criticized by the minds and beliefs of others, and to not let it or them sway you from the position of the true nature of your being. So to be vulnerable, this is like really tricky. Like, to be vulnerable means to have the courage to be exposed to the possibilities of being judged and criticized by the minds and beliefs of others. Because what this means is the same as what I just mentioned. If you're normally quiet and then all of a sudden you become joyful and playful, and people are going to judge you and say, like, oh, you know, they're doing this weird stuff, or they're meditating, or they've joined this weird group of people. We're becoming so weird. The whole world's weirding, so that's really great. We're all stepping into our weirdness, which is our beautiful natural nature, our spiritual awakening. So to be vulnerable and to be able to go, you know, I understand that who I have been in the past, who I've been in conforming to the world and the beliefs of others. I've been conforming to strategies and my cultural beliefs, and now I'm waking up, and it is going to press buttons. So to be vulnerable is to know that those buttons are going to get pressed, and it's going to be an opportunity for you to even just maybe look a little bit deeper when it comes a time where you might be being criticized because you are changing in your pathway of awakening. Then you're going to actually, you know, feel those feelings that are going to be feelings of I'm not loved, I'm not worthy, I'm not being seen. This is still going to bring up all of the aspects, the inner trauma, and you want to be able to be prepared to be open, to be available. Vulnerability is to be open and available to these aspects of yourself, these hidden parts of yourself that you've kept a lid on them, and you've kept them repressed, and now they want to come up, or now they want to settle down. And with that, of course, will come up the judgments and the criticism that actually created that repression, or that outward expression in the first place. So be prepared for that. Be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be open and hold the space of your own vulnerability, um, and so that those trauma that trauma response can be healed. Um, yes, and to remind yourself, I am a peaceful soul. I am pure, unlimited, untainted, beautiful, eternal, and free. In my other videos, we've discussed the concept of staying in alignment. I am a soul. I have peaceful thoughts. I speak words of only love. My heart is full of compassion. Staying in alignment with your divine being, and then noticing the parts of yourself that split off. The parts of yourself that will split are going to be the parts of yourself that you are. You have an opportunity now to be open to, and they are the emotions and feelings that vulnerability can actually open you up to, but an opportunity to stand very, very strong in your alignment, and also, yeah, hold the space for the aspects of yourself, the parts of yourself, the inner child that's actually rising up through any sort of vulnerability and fear, and the pattern of staying safe. And just notice that that's arising, and an opportunity to sit with that, to breathe with it, to stay with it, to open, to feel where it is in your body, and to breathe the breath. The breath is the carriage of the soul, so you're breathing that light into this inward blockage. And yeah, just stay with it, and allow the breath to soften that emotion, and to soften the hidden and repressed feelings of disassociation, the fragmented, the dream of separation, and move back into alignment with the part of yourself, your beautiful, radiant being that is always loved, is always accepted, acknowledged by a divinity. And you will notice that this is what comes up. So the criticism of others is their own projection of themselves, right? So they're projecting, they're criticizing. People will criticize you because they're projecting the aspect of themselves that they are yet to know in their own transparency. So you can see others who do criticize or condemn or judge you. See them as the part of yourself who you were prior to waking up to this beautiful true nature of your being, and yeah, and that's where you can just hold that space of, then I am compassion, and to really keep yourself open, and realizing that those people that are in front of you that may be challenged by your new belief or your new way, that they too are on exactly the same pathway, and they too are yearning for their own opportunity to be totally open, and to be transparent, and to be vulnerable, but they're not yet able to get there. But you showing up that way may give them an opportunity to have that conversation with them. When they start questioning you about your change, then you'll be able to, yeah, reflect this back to them. You know what? Yeah, I have always been noisy, but I'm just really enjoying being a bit quiet, and I know, because I see it in my own friends, my own family, and when you actually bring yourself into alignment, when you align yourself with your deep, beautiful inner being, your deep inner peace, and you also align yourself with your joyful, radiant, innocent being, then that's going to shine. That light's going to shine, and as a frequency, as a true frequency, a vibrational frequency, that deep inner peace and that radiant innocent joy is going to be here all in your own field and in your quantum field, and those beautiful waves are going to ripple out, and they are going to touch others. And that's what we're here to do, to let those waves of beautiful consciousness move out into the field of our own field, into the quantum field, into the close relations, to our close relations, and then continue to vibrate this beautiful frequency, this quantum frequency, upon the entire planet, and further still into the cosmos, where we can create this beautiful coherence of, as I said, the coherence of deep peace and the coherence of joy and innocence and fun and love. It's like they're all beautiful frequencies. And so we have an opportunity to, just through shifting these frequencies alone within ourselves, to then allow the entire experience of humanity to also drink deeply from that beautiful ocean of peace and joy. So the courage it takes to finally lose the identity with this trance, the trance of form, all the identifications and beliefs that we build up about ourselves based on our conditioning, our culture, our psychology, our biology, based on all of the human conditions, then that is what we call a trance. It's like it's a hypnosis. We've been hypnotized. We've been told who it is we're meant to be, and then of course we've followed form, and we've been caught up in that trance, and we have taken those labels, and we've said, okay, well, I guess that's who I am, when really that who you are can be shifted at all times. You can choose to be anything you want. You can be that repressed, hidden, introverted being, or you can choose to be the joyful, radiant being. And now you have that opportunity. We've been able, because now you can change your own trance. You can change your own beautiful world. Now that we realise that this has all just been something that's been just put into our mind, it's been conditioned into our program of who we are as a human being, and we're not. We're a spiritual being having a human experience. So it's time now. We've got this beautiful opportunity to step fully into the aspect of ourselves that is a spiritual being having a human experience. Because the form of trance, that's fearful and shut down and on fight and flight, ready to fight, defend, or to run away, or to go and get something else to keep me safe. And that's all the condition. That's the movement. That's the movement, the fixation and the movement of how we move towards our life. We move towards something to keep us safe, or we move away from it. All based on our fears, all based on our conditioning and the limitations that that have been put into our minds. So liberate yourself. Liberate yourself. When you liberate yourself and you step fully into your own vulnerability and your transparency, then you're also going to liberate the whole of humanity, and that's what we're here to do. So paying it forward. Thank you, everyone.